Meditation is only a method to take you deeper within yourself and to realize your true spiritual nature. Spirit has no boundaries. It connects you to the Samasti. Samasti is the total existence. Awareness is also a tool that allows you to become aware of your spiritual nature. We are part of the total existence. And this existence is so vast. The realization of this vastness, which is also shining within us. Realization that our individual self is a part of the vast ocean of existence is exhilarating, relieving, and rejuvenating. But it also makes us realize our mistakes that we have been committing for all these lives. Somewhere along the line, we considered ourselves separate than this total existence. And that was our mistake. You can call it ignorance. The moment we considered ourselves separate, everything changed. We are embedded with this free will to choose whatever we want to do in life. The ignorance of calling ourselves separate was also part of this freedom to choose. And we chose the wrong path. The path of individual existence created the ego. We forgot that we are connected with the existence which has created us. We have realizations everywhere. We have proof, we have evidence everywhere, and yet we have chosen to neglect them. Try to disconnect with the existence. Stop breathing. Stop relying on the sunlight. Stop relying on the water. Stop relying on the air, fire, heat. These are our connections with the total existence. How can we deny that? Meditation takes you deeper and makes you realize that you are the existence. Your individual separate existence is just not possible. You're right smack in the middle of existence. But our mistake was that we connected ourselves separate. And under this ignorance, we tried to maintain our individual existence. And in this try, whatever it took, we did it. If my individual existence is important to me, I would do whatever it takes to keep my individuality separate than yours, even at the cost of suppressing you, hurting you, verbally, mentally, physically. I will do it. Our ignorance has gone so far. It is no surprise that our life is full of suffering. Every single suffering can be traced to our own mistake of individualized ego. Ego is your belief that you are separate than Samasti, the total existence. And this belief that you are separate is the rise of the ego. If somebody insults you, you feel bad because you have the ego. At the total level, the totality level, at the universal existence level, to have an ego is going against the nature of the Samasti, the totality. But we did that. Now, everything that touches that ego, we suffer. We have worked very hard towards creating our empire of suffering. As soon as we thought we were separate than the existence, we have been trying to maintain that castle of ours. We have created a fortress around our psyche. Instead of forgetting that we are all one, spirituality is all about understanding our universal existence. And in this universal existence, every human being, every creature, every stone, living or non-living thing, is covered under this total existence. And this existence is the one that created us. And now the creation has started its own creative existence, separate than the universal existence. So we have broken the rules of the universal existence. Anytime you consider yourself separate than the total existence, your suffering has started. Because the individual ego has desire to build up and solidify this fortress so that nobody can come and attack. We are walking around with this fortress, ready to fight back. Desires are to connect to the world, to accumulate more and more, and make this fortress bigger and bigger. In that, we are ready to crush the journey of other souls. It doesn't matter to us because we don't even know our own soul. The freedom to choose that we have been endowed with is the ultimate love of the universal existence. We have a choice. We have a choice to create the ego, the desires, and resultant sufferings, or we have freedom to choose, to go deep within. The choice is yours. Once we go deep within, we realize the totality. We realize the flow of the universal existence flowing within us also. Knowing us is knowing God. Just the way a single droplet of the ocean has the same breakdown, the same makeup. Once you taste one drop of the ocean, you have tasted the whole ocean. Yes, one droplet is separate, but it represents the whole ocean. So go within and find out your universality. The nature of the universal existence flowing within us is that of peace, tranquility, respect for other souls who are also there because of their ignorance, because of their mistakes that they made just the way we did it. They have a freedom to choose the path on their own, from their experiences, from their sufferings, and ultimately choosing to go within, realize their own true nature. But the moment we realize our own true self, we become obligated to respect the journey that other souls also have to take. Maintaining the ego is going against the rules of the total existence. Once we become the citizen of the universal existence and realize the ego has been the cause of our suffering, we have to let go and let the universal existence do what it has done so far, creating this beautiful universe, the moons and the stars and the galaxies, the animals, the sun, the trees, the moonlight, butterflies. All these beautiful things have been created by the existence without our help. Let the existence create us also. You just have to submit yourself. Realize the vastness of this existence. Let it shape us. Meditation is taking a dip into this vast current of the existence. Submit yourself. Dissolve your ego. There is nothing like individual. By creating the ego, you are fighting against the vast current of existence. Millions of egos have been destroyed in the tide of the times. Unimaginable number of egos have suffered and gone down to the dust, and yet we don't learn. Go within and realize that you are not separate. You are one existence. Give up the desires. Desires are the intentions to be different than others. Desires create unhappy person immediately. As soon as you have desire, that establishes the fact that you are not happy within. Only unhappy people want to become happy So realize this within yourself, that desires continuously reinforcing the fact within you that you are an unhappy person through the intellectual analysis, wisdom, and inner power of discrimination. Realize this fact that universality is the best place to be, because the nature of the universal existence is that of peace, calmness, love, freedom, and respect for every single creation that exists around you. And you don't have to do anything. You just have to realize the futility of your ego. Ego makes you suffer. Ego makes you run. Ego makes you tired. Ego makes you fight, protect. It's a continuous battle. Dissolve the ego. Realization from within will dissolve the ego. Saying that I want to dissolve my ego does not work. Only through the true realization within that we are the universal existence, ego drops. Ego is one point, but it leads to millions of ramifications. Come deep within yourself and trace the appearance of the ego, your wrong concept that you are separate, and realize the vastness of the universal existence, and realize that was your point where your suffering started. We considered ourselves separate, but we don't realize that we all depend on the same sunlight, the water, the air, the oxygen, the universal power that is moving the sun, the moon, the earth. We are nothing. This realization should lead you to egolessness. As soon as the ego disappears, peace comes. Because ego was the cause of suffering. As soon as the suffering disappears, peace comes only because peace is the nature of the universal existence. Do not resist the flow. Accept everything in life. Ego does not want to accept things in life. It wants to alter the outside world. And that's where the friction starts. That's where the suffering starts. So every time you're suffering, you meditate. Go down and realize that every single suffering, in the depth of it, is your ego. Whenever you suffer, you realize you have made a mistake, a spiritual mistake. But you will not understand this spiritual mistake until you find your own spiritual nature. So dissolve your ego. Stop being a droplet. Realize the vast ocean within you. Become the ocean. Live at peace. As soon as your ego drops, your hatred drops. Hatred is what separates you from others. Ego makes you feel superior to the others, As soon as ego dissolves, you become one with everyone else around you. Whether it is the janitor working in your hospital or CEO of the hospital, they both become same to you. Lot of negative characteristics of your ego drops, and you become samyak in the same steady state, the steady state of the nature of the universal existence. You become harmonious with the existence and remaining in peace all the time. All these are internal realizations. They have to come because that's all there is. There is nothing else. Realize this fact. Dissolve your ego. Realize the futility of the ego. Drop the resistance, and the love starts for all. Respect starts for all. Because it is in the nature of the universal existence to love everything, because everything is created by this universal existence. Why won't it love everything, everyone? This is the divine love, very different than motherly love. Motherly love is a very small, tiny glimpse into this universal love. The love is everywhere. Love also brings the respect for everything and everyone, even a stone that's lying on the side of your road. The road that you're walking on, the air that you're breathing in. The respect comes for everything because we are part of something vast which has its own gifts of love, peace, tranquility, and bliss. But first we have to correct our mistake and realize that ego is an illusion and it has no future. It is bound to get destroyed. If we don't destroy it, universal existence will. So it's better that we do it and live the rest of your life in harmony